So in today's video, we're talking about soft skills. And I'm not like, yo man, you're so soft. No, I'm talking about the soft skills that require just a touch more emotional intelligence than that. Welcome to the channel Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help new managers become better leaders, and I do that with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. If you're watching this video to learn about soft skills, I need you to understand this channel is full of information like this. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing, because I'll tell you this, YouTube's telling me that there's about 70% of you guys that ain't subscribed. So come on, don't be shy. So like I said, we're talking about soft skills, and I have 7 that I'm going to tell you about in this video. And these, in my opinion, are must-haves, especially for new managers. If you want to come in and you want to make the best impression and have the most impact, you need to jot these down. First, communication. Now, you may come in as a boss, a brand new, fresh out of school or newly promoted, and think, I'm the boss. I can communicate. You, go do that. You, go do this. That's not what I'm talking about when I mean communication. I'm talking about you need to be able to clearly and effectively communicate with your team. You need to know how to actively listen, to really hear what's being said to you or not being said to you, to be able to pick up on the nonverbal cues that are coming towards you. This is all part of communication, and you need to figure it out. It's not hard, but you have to put the effort in. Next, you need to be able to foster teamwork. Now, some people may think, okay, I just show up to work. These are the people that are hired to do their job. And you know what? Damn well, they're going to do their job. That's what it is. Well, you're right in the sense that, yes, everybody was hired to do a job. And you're right that they need to do it. But it doesn't mean that they're going to work as a team. It doesn't mean because somebody has a job to work with Sally that they're going to work together. They're going to work well together. This is a soft skill that you need to have. You need to know, how do you get your team to work together? How do you build a team? Here's what you need to pick up on. How do you build the team? I didn't say that by accident, kids. You're the boss. You're setting the tone. You are showing people what you expect your team to work like. And a lot of teamwork happens because people enjoy being at work. And people will enjoy being at work, even if it's not the greatest of jobs, but they will enjoy being at work when their boss is pleasant to be around, when their boss is part of the team, when the boss doesn't say, I am better than you, you get to work. The boss is part of the team. You're going to set the tone. Boom. Teamwork will happen. This one, a lot of people can get stuck on. As a leader, one of your soft skills that you need to have, decision making. You need to be able to make a call. Even if it's a wrong call, you need to consider your options. Here's a quick breakdown of a checklist. To make decisions, you need to not overthink things. Listen, we're not all brain surgeons on this channel. I'm not saying that I'm stupid, but at the same time, a lot of decisions I have to make aren't that difficult. I don't need to overthink it and make it more difficult than it is. The next thing is make sure you're not focusing on these minute, insignificant details. A decision has to be made. It does not get made, or at least the best decisions don't get made by focusing on these small, annoying little tasks. That's not for you. Another thing that, can kind of hinder your decision making is really focusing on these negative things that could happen, but the chances of them happening are so small that you shouldn't be putting a lot of thought into the negative impact if you've realized that they're not going to have a large impact, regardless if they're a negative impact or not. They're really not going to weigh a lot on the decision. And finally, people kind of hold off or they can't make decisions because they rush and they don't get all the information. Now, I'm not saying every decision you make, you need to sit down for 3 days and mull it over. But you do need to go to the sources and get as much information that you can. And then if you need a checklist, I'm your guy. In the video description, there's a link for a downloadable PDF. Listen, it's not rocket science. It is something that you can follow when you're having a hard time making a decision, just to answer these questions and then go from there. Something that I find, it helps a little bit, right? Every little bit helps. The next thing that new managers need to have in terms of soft skills, problem solving. Now, problem solving and decision making sometimes go hand in hand, but we need to, when we're the leader, your team, when they can't answer something, when they can't figure something out, it comes to you. Now, some people will say, listen, bring me solutions, not the problem. And that's all fine and dandy, but you're the boss. At some level, people are coming to you with the problem, and you want to be able to solve this. Because in my opinion, a lot of leadership and a lot of management just falls down to using your common sense, your knowledge to solve problems. Just put out fires. Like I'll put out one fire at a time. I can get overwhelmed, and I'm sure maybe you can too, but give me one fire at a time and I'll make sure that goes out and I'll move to the next fire. To help you with problem solving, I want you to look at the facts, not the feelings. Because some problems we have to deal with, there's a lot of feelings in it. As a leader, cut to the facts of what the problem is. Where's the roadblock? Whatever it might be. But deal with facts. Number 5 on our list, delegation. A lot of new managers have a hard time with this one too, because it's like, well, I don't want people not to like me. So I don't want to tell them, you have to do this and you have to do that. And here's the thing. Delegation shows that you trust people. It shows that you respect their knowledge base. It shows that you're on the same team. Now, this is how we build teamwork. Delegation is not punishment. Delegation is not just passing over work that you don't want to do. I mean, that's not what you're doing, right? We want to engage our team. We want our team to have skin in the game. Listen, if you have issues with delegation, check the description. There's a link. I have a course that will help you get the who, what, why, and how of delegation. It's very straightforward once you have the plan. Speaking of delegation and how it empowers your team, empowerment is another soft skill that I think great managers have. Make your team feel like they are part of the team. Give them responsibilities. Give them the opportunity to make decisions, to problem solve. You're a manager, a leader. You are not there to micromanage. You are not there to do their job. Coach them, teach them, make them understand that they are an important part of your team and that you respect how they do their job, how they come to conclusions, or how they make their decisions. We all just want to feel like we belong, and by empowering your team to make decisions that affect your team, this is how we build that. Empower your people. The next one, EQ. I talked about it at the beginning of the video. EQ, if you don't know, emotional intelligence. You need to know how to read your people. I think, honestly, I'm pretty good with my EQ. Sometimes I don't care. But if I'm being honest, I think I'm pretty good with my EQ, and I give 100% of the credit because I worked in the restaurant industry where I had to, just to make a living, I had to pick up on how people were feeling. Did people want to be talked to by their bartender, or did they want their bartender to just beat it, drop a drink and collect the money and move on? You have to learn how to read people. When you're working in an office, and you're delegating a task to somebody, you need to be picking up on their facial cues. Does this scare them? Are they excited by this? Does it look like it's annoying them? Do you feel like they're overwhelmed? You're not going to have solid answers to this, but this is your EQ really helps you pick up on this. So then you can have a one-on-one discussion. You can have a chat. You can kind of feel out if your feelings, your thoughts, how people are taking certain situations, and you can kind of put them to the test. You can bring it to the attention of these people. Now, you're not just going to say, oh, you don't like this job? No, you want to feel it out. Some people have bad days. High EQ, you can pick out what these days are. And that is going to help the overall productivity of your team. It's going to make people want to come together because they feel respected and they feel trusted. Soft skills, in my opinion, is a lot about feelings. And I'm not saying let's worry about hurting feelings. I'm saying we have a gut instinct. We know instinctively how to treat people, how to read people. But we just got to tighten up these soft skills, and then you are the best manager on site. So that being said, best manager, let's learn some more right after we get our coffee, right? I'll see you there.